Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mars in the seventh house in a natal chart. Now, first off, what I wanted to state was that when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Mars placements in the houses, and they were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, Mars in the seventh house is comparable to Mars in Libra, but naturally you got to blend in the zodiac sign. Mars in Libra in the seventh house naturally can be a little different than Mars in Aries in the seventh house. And Mars in astrology is connected with our drive and motivation. So Mars posited in the seventh house may have a lot of drive and motivation. It matters with their relationships, doing things for others. Um, it could be in terms of agreements, finding compromise, the marriage, the significant other. This person may expend a lot of energy doing things for others and may be dominated by others' interests at times. Could also be in terms of cooperation and reconciliation as well. This person may often take the initiative in terms of compromising with somebody if the person's had a dispute with another person. This may be often be the person that goes to the other person first in terms of trying to reconcile differences and make peace. Also, too, there may be a lot of drive and motivation connected with competition as well. Let's say if Mars is in Sagittarius in the seventh house, it may be some kind of sports competition or something connected with college, higher education as a form of something related to that in terms of competition as well. And also fashion, art, it could be something that drives and motivates this person. Matters with the law, whether it's some focus on being an attorney or working in another legal field. Mars in astrology is also associated with our energy and vitality. So Mars positive in the seventh house may expend a lot of their energy in matters connected with competition. If you have it, say Mars in Gemini in the seventh house as an example, it might be something with cerebral kind of competition, or even like Virgo, it could be like chess, something that requires some kind of analysis and intellectual ability. Another thing is that the person may also expend a lot of their energy in some kind of art field, whether it be drawing, painting, or sculpting. Sometimes even in lawsuits. It could be just collaborating with others on projects and endeavors, matters with negotiation, arbitration, cooperation, and also just trying to balance things as well. It could be even some balance sport, where you've got to, where balance is essential, such as tennis or gymnastics. And even it could be with arbitration as well as some examples. And this person may find his or herself often expending a lot of energy for others. And anyway, next thing, well, Mars in astrology is also connected with physical injury. So you have, there may be, since the seventh house corresponds with Libra, there may be physical related injuries connected with the lower back, the kidneys, the buttocks, the endocrine system. It could be through some form of competition, especially something of physical nature like sports, naturally. If it's in Gemini, it could be something just simply through writing or doing something repetitive, with the hands and arms, because Gemini is connected with that, and also the nerves as well. This person may find themselves, there may be some kind of injury that the person has to take action as far as a lawsuit goes in some instances. It could be through some battle, with an open adversary, if it's some physical confrontation in some instances. Now, Mars in astrology is also associated with action in our activities. And when you have Mars posited in the seventh house in the natal chart, a lot of that action activities may be connected with legalities, legal matters. It could be lawsuits or taking action in some artistic endeavor or something associated, with fashion. Um, it could be, the relationships as well. This person may be impatient in those matters. In some cases, I would say this could indicate, an impulsive or early marriage. Uh, Also, action in matters with negotiation, arbitration, cooperating. In terms of reconciling, trying to find an agreement with people as well. In matters with contracts, if this person is in some business where contracts are involved frequently, if it's like some music business or what have you, this is a person that, may not have, much hesitation or procrastination in those matters. And another thing about Mars in astrology, it's associated with sex or sexual partners. So when you have Mars positive in the seventh house, it could be where you desire, more, a balanced, connection with the sexual partner. Things may really need to be fair and equitable for you, and you may often, there may be some ambivalence in these matters where you're constantly weighing the pros and cons of them. But also at the same time, it could be where, you may desire somebody, more, physically attractive, more so than most people on average, somebody that's charming, tactful, diplomatic, cooperative, and refined. And you may desire more as far as intellectual sociability goes in terms of a sexual partner, more so than most people on average. And and the thing about it is, again, just having that balance, that fairness, the equilibrium, and the connection can be, significant to you. Now, another thing about Mars in astrology, it's associated with physical strength. So, you may use more of your physical strength, in matters of, some form of competition. Um, it could be, projects that you do with others when you collaborating with others on certain projects and endeavors, things that require, balance, whether again, as some examples, tennis or gymnastics. Could also be, dealing with open adversaries as well. And something, when you have this, it could be just, doing things for others in general. It may feel, as if it's requiring some more physical strength on your part, more so than most people on average. Now, Mars in astrology is also connected with anger, so naturally you have Mars positive in the seventh house. The situation with, your relationships, whether it's significant other or important friendships, they may be more contentious than most on average. There may be many acrimonious disputes with those people. And it could be where, the competition you're involved in, at times may be acerbic, and, open adversaries may be a little more volatile than most, on average as well. And, you may direct more anger at those people than most others. Another thing too, it could be where you become more agitated easily over matters connected with contracts or lawsuits, legal matters, because you naturally can be more impatient on those matters than most people on average. Matters with cooperation, arbitration as well. Those are things that may make you a little bit more agitated and exasperated compared to the average person. Now, also, Mars in astrology is associated with enthusiasm. So, Mars in the seventh house, there may be more enthusiasm over matters connected with art, fashion, endeavors associated with the law, whether you may be focusing on being, say, an attorney, a paralegal, a judge, a bailiff, as some examples. Uh, it could be matters with competition, and also to the significant others in general. You may be more, enthusiastic and exuberant about your connections, your relationships, forming new connections as well. and also being able to conquer open enemies. There may be more, enthusiasm in those matters, and also things that are associated, with agreements, arbitration, negotiation, reconciliation. Those are things where more enthusiasm may be expressed for than most others. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.